Hey, want to deal over 90 damage to an opponent and heal yourself equal to that amount, or add a plus 20 to any ability check you make? If you do, you've come to the right place, so stick around and I'll show you how. For your race, choose Vampire to get a plus 1 to Constitution, plus 1 to Dexterity, and plus 1 to Wisdom. You have a 35-foot walking speed, 60 feet of dark vision, and you don't need to breathe. Also get the abilities Spider Climb and Vampiric Bite. Spider Climb lets you have a climbing speed equal to your walking speed, and at 3rd level you can move up, down, and across vertical surfaces and walk upside down along ceilings. You can do both these things while leaving your hands free. Vampiric Bite lets you bite an opponent as an action, dealing 1d4 piercing damage using your con modifier instead of strength to attack. While you're less than half health, you get advantage on these attacks. Then, you can do one of two things: gain hit points equal to the amount of damage you deal with your bite, or gain a bonus to the next ability check or attack roll you make equal to the amount of damage you deal with your bite. Stats we'll be using point buy. Roll for stats if you want, but keep multi-classing minimums in mind. Our stats are going to be 8 strength, 16 constitution, 16 wisdom, 16 dexterity, 8 intelligence, and 8 charisma. Level progression for this build is decently straightforward. Start with 1 level in fighter, switch over to 6 levels in monk, then switch back and take your last level in fighter. For your background, choose Urchin, giving you proficiency in sleight of hand and stealth, and a language of your choice. Starting at level 1, your class is fighter, giving you proficiency in strength and constitution saving throws, proficiency in the skills perception and acrobatics, your fighting style, and second wind. For your fighting style, choose Superior Technique. Superior Technique lets you pick a maneuver from the Battlemaster subclass. Choose Brace. Brace lets you attack a creature with your reaction when the creature moves into your melee range. You add your superiority die to the weapon's damage roll. Second Wind lets you heal 1d10 plus your fighter level as a bonus action. At level 2, switch over to Monk to get Unarmored Defense and Martial Arts. Unarmored Defense gives you an AC of 10, plus your Dexterity and Wisdom modifiers. Using point buy, your AC is 16. Martial Arts lets you use your Dex instead of your Strength to attack, lets you treat your fists as a weapon dealing 1d4 damage, and lets you use your fists to attack as a bonus action. At level 5, the damage you deal with your fists increases to 1d6. Second level monks get Key, Flurry of Blows, Patient Defense, and Step of the Wind. Flurry of Blows lets you hit twice with your fist as a bonus action. Patient Defense lets you take the dodge action as your bonus action. And Step of the Wind lets you disengage or dash as a bonus action and double your jump distance. All of these abilities cost 1 key point. You get an extra 10 feet of movement for a total of 45 feet of movement. And at level 6, your movement speed is 50 feet. Level 3 monks get their subclass, the ability to deflect missiles, and the optional ability Key-Fueled Strikes. For your subclass, choose Kensei. Kensei monks get 4 abilities: Kensei Weapons, Agile Parry, Kensei Shot, and Way of the Brush. Kensei Weapons lets you choose 2 different types of weapons, one ranged and one melee weapon. You become proficient with them, and they become monk weapons for you. These weapons can be any simple or martial weapon, and cannot have the heavy or special properties. For your melee weapon, choose your bite attack, and for your ranged, choose a longbow. Agile Parry lets you add 2 to your AC when you hit with your fist, and you're holding a Kensei weapon. Unfortunately, you can't activate this with your bite because you are not technically holding it. Kensei Shot allows you to add 1d4 to one of your ranged weapon attacks as a bonus action. The ability Way of the Brush gives you proficiency in Calligrapher's Supplies. The ability Deflect Missiles lets you decrease the damage you take from a ranged weapon attack by 1d10 plus your Dexterity modifier and monk level as a reaction. If you reduce the damage to 0 and have one hand open, you can catch the ammunition and spend 1 key point to throw the ammunition at an opponent within 60 feet as part of the same reaction. Key-Fueled Strikes allow you to make an unarmored or monk weapon attack as a bonus action. Key-Fueled Strike is an optional ability, meaning you need to make sure your DM is okay with you using this ability. Level 4 monks get their ability score improvement and the ability Slow Fall. Forego your ability score improvement and pick up the feat Fey Touched. Fey Touched lets you increase your intelligence, wisdom, or charisma by 1. Choose wisdom. You also learn the spell Misty Steps and a divination or enchantment spell of your choice. Choose the divination spell Hunter's Mark. Misty Steps lets you teleport 30 feet in an unoccupied space you can see. Hunter's Mark lets you choose a creature you can see within range and mystically mark it. Until the spell ends, you deal an extra 1d6 damage to the target whenever you hit it with a weapon attack. You also have advantage on any perception or survival check you make to find it. If the target drops to 0 hit points before the spell ends, you could use a bonus action on a subsequent turn of yours to mark a new creature. Low Fall lets you use a reaction to reduce the amount of damage you take from falling by 5 times your monk level. Level 5 monks get extra attack and stunning strike. Extra attack lets you attack twice instead of once when you use the attack action. Stunning strike lets you spend 1 key point when you hit a creature and force them to make a constitution saving throw. On a fail, they are stunned until your next turn. At level 6, you get Key Empowered Strikes and the Kensei ability, One with the Blade. Key Empowered Strikes makes your unarmored strikes count as magical for the purpose of overcoming resistance and immunity to non-magical attacks and damage. One with the Blade gives you 2 abilities, Magical Kensei Weapon and Death Strike. Magical Kensei Weapon makes attacks with your Kensei Weapon count as magical for the purpose of overcoming resistance and immunity to non-magical attacks and damage. Deft Strike lets you spend 1 key point to cause the weapon to deal extra damage to the target equal to your martial arts die. You can use this feature once on each of your turns. For your final level in this build, switch back over to Fighter to get Action Surge. Action Surge lets you double the amount of actions you can take once per short or long rest. Now that we've taken all the levels we need for this build, let's find out how viable it is. First, you deal an insane amount of damage. Assuming Hunter's Mark is active, using Action Surge, Death Strikes, Brace, and the optional ability, Key Fueled Attacks, you deal an average of 63 damage and an insane maximum of 96 damage. To put that into perspective, a 9th level fireball deals 49 damage on average, meaning you deal 40% more damage on average than a 9th level fireball. That's insane. And because you're a Dampire, you can heal yourself equals the amount of damage you deal. And if you're half health, you gain advantage on these attacks. You could also choose to instead add the damage you deal to any ability check or saving throw you make. Some cons to this build are all of the -1 modifiers you have. The -1 in strength doesn't really matter, since most DMs let you use acrobatics instead of athletics, and intelligence saving throws are the least common saving throws in the game, but the -1 in charisma kinda sucks because there are a handful of annoying spells that require charisma saving throws. Another con is that you're a Dampire, meaning you can only eat food from the Dampire hunger table, and with Dampires, the more you eat from that hunger table, the more you see your companions as nothing but livestock. That's all for this build. If you thought I should have done something different, taken this build somewhere else, or if you have a fun build idea, put it down in the comments. If you want to be able to melee an opponent from 25 feet away, check out the video you see on the left. Or, if you want to have an AC of over 30 by level 4, check out the video on the right. That's all for this week. Thanks for watching my video. Bye!